For level of physics, you need to be able to take an equation and possibly link it to the equation for a straight line, which is y is equal to mx plus c, where y is a value that you plot on your y-axis, your x is plotted on your x-axis, remember x is across, and whatever is being multiplied by your x-axis is actually will give you your gradient. Now your gradient, if you remember from GCSE, is your change in y values divided by your change in x values. Okay. Your intercept, so sometimes you may just get a graph that doesn't have an intercept, so it will just look like this. Your equation will look like y is equal to mx, where you'll only be able to work out the gradient. Sometimes if your graph hits the y-axis, here, this is what's known as your intercept. So where your graph hits the y-axis is your intercept. This here is hitting, that's a positive intercept, where if my graph was hitting down here, this would be a negative intercept. Okay, because you're down, that was 0. You're down your negative values here. So I'm just going to show you how you can link your equations, rearrange them, and link it up to this here equation here. So we'll start off easy with this equation. Where on the y-axis it's telling me, so I wanted to be able to draw a graph of L against R. Okay, so what I have to do first, if that's on my y-axis, I have to rearrange this equation here to have L is equal to something. So L is equal to, you can just rearrange it whatever way you want. You may want to put it in triangle form, or you may just be able to rearrange it in your head. So I always like getting rid of my fractions, so if I multiplied that up, it would become rho L is equal to RA. So rearranging it, so it would be rho L is equal to RA. I don't want rho L, I just want L by itself, so I'm going to then divide both sides by rho, and I will get the equation that I want. So it's RA over rho is equal to L. Okay, so already I can say, yeah, it's starting to look like my y is equal to mx. I'm just going to write down. So because there's no plus or minus here, we're not going to have an intercept. So we're going to be looking at this equation here. So I've got it looking like this equation, my y. My x is my r. So that's my x-axis. Okay. Remember, whatever I said, whatever is being multiplied or beside my x is my gradient. So if I find the gradient of this graph, it will give me a over rho. So that is my m. That is my gradient. Okay, and you may have to find the gradient. They may give you a value for a and then say find the gradient and then find rho. So that's just rearranging your equation when you find your gradient. Okay.